So today we have a very special interview with Rob Jowett, the Executive Director, Ron Rafferty, Executive Chairman, and Alan Barnett, the Managing Director of CJD Equipment. And it's a real privilege to be sitting with you guys, and I can't thank you enough for your time.
You're welcome.
I want to hear your story. It's, I think across the country, all earth movers are familiar with CJD Equipment. They know the machinery, they've got a great relationship with their brands, but I don't know that people necessarily know the history of it and the hard jacker. For people now, they just think, well, the building was always there, wasn't it? The machines have always been there. So tell me, from the get-go, and I asked the contractors this, I've been out on site today, when you went to school, was this your dream? Was this always the plan? Tell me, where did you grow up and who are you? We'll start with Rob.
My dream was always to be a farmer.
Right.
So when I left school, I didn't go farming, but I worked for a stock firm, Dalgetty's, and I worked there for a couple of years, came back to Perth and applied for a job with Chamberlain Industries as a sales cadet.
Okay.
And that's where it really started. That was in 1959. I started as a sales cadet. And that process, which Ron also had been prior to me, had done the same course, involved going through all of the different facets of the factory and also working in what was our branch here in Western Australia. This is where I started 65 years ago as a sales cadet, yeah. So that's how it really started, and that's how I met Ron. That was our association, working with the same company, which we did for nearly 17 years, and then we had this ambition to do something our own, start our own company.
My people were farmers originally in the eastern wheat belt, and but toward the end of the war they gave up farming, and we came down and lived in Perth. The thing that changed my life, after I left school, I went into national service. It was compulsory in those days, and that was a bit of a life-changing event for me. And after I came out of national service, there was an ad in the paper from Chamberlain Industries, and I applied for that position, and I was lucky enough to get it, and that was in 1957. As Rob has told you, that was an excellent education for us, but it also, more importantly, our job was to appoint and develop dealers. Firstly in Western Australia, and as we grew in the company, eventually all around Australia, going to country towns, sourcing the best businessman in that town, convincing him to drop Massey Ferguson or some other stuff and take on a Chamberlain franchise. And in that process, of course, you learn, along with the academic training that Chamberlain's was giving us at the time, you learn how business worked. Because the day we started in this business, we knew all about dealerships. Yeah. We knew how they worked, we knew what didn't work, and we developed a bit of an instinct how to pick people who could perform and make things happen. We were very energetic, very ambitious, and covered a lot of ground, and we had problems along the way, as you can expect. And if you read our book that's just been printed, you'll see that, in fact, when we started our business, we were Chamberlain John Deere, because John Deere had bought into Chamberlain's. So that's where the CJD comes from. CJD, Chamberlain John Deere.